Welcome to this video on populations and samples. After watching this video, you will be able to define the terms population, sample, parameter, statistic, and inferential statistics. You will be able to explain why sampling is used, and you will be able to identify whether a measurement is a parameter or a statistic. What is a population? A population is the complete set of all measurements or data that are being considered. Here's an example. Suppose you wanted to determine the average salary of all men in the United States aged 20 to 25. What is the population here? If you want, you can pause this video and think about it. The population you are interested in, according to this example, is all men in the United States aged 20 to 25. Let's practice identifying populations. A beverage company in the US wants to see if people in the United States like their new logo, so they post an online survey. 1,200 people complete the survey. What is the population the beverage company is interested in? The population is people in the United States. Let's try another example. A restaurant in DC wants diners to rate their customer service during the month of October, in which they served a total of 3,000 guests. What is the population? The population of interest is all people who dined at the restaurant during the month of October. In this case, we are told that that is 3,000 people. A school principal wants to see which subject the 665 students in his school like the best. What is the population? The population is all of the students at the principal's school. In this case, we are told that 665 students attend the school. A survey company was trying to see if people in Maryland think that the pollution level is too high in the state, so they surveyed 10 people in each county. What is the population? The population of interest is people in Maryland. In this example, 10 people in each county is the sample, not the population. The mayor of Annapolis wanted to see if the 38,979 people in his town thought he was doing a good job. The population is all the residents of Annapolis. In this case, we are told that there are 38,979 residents. Let's start talking about samples. A population is the complete set of all measurements or data that are being considered. A sample is a proper subset of members selected from a population. This means that the sample is smaller than the population itself. So in this example, or this image, you can see a larger circle is used to represent the population. From the larger circle, we take a smaller circle out, which we are using to represent the sample. Why do we sample? Collecting data from every member of a population may be impossible or impractical. Therefore, we use samples to make inferences about populations. This process is called inferential statistics. Look at this advertisement. It claims that Colgate is the #1 toothpaste recommended by dental professionals. Take a minute and consider, do you think every single dental professional was surveyed in order to make this advertising claim? Why or why not? If you want, you can pause the video and think about it. The answer is clearly no. Nobody has the time or the money to survey every single dental professional. Most likely what was done was a sample of dental professionals were surveyed, and the result from that sample was that Colgate was the #1 toothpaste. Here are some sampling rules. If you are sampling without replacement, the sample size has to be less than 10% of your overall population if you want to treat the samples as independent. To collect a random unbiased sample that is representative of the population you're studying, every member of a population must have an equal chance of being selected. These sampling rules will be more thoroughly developed and emphasized as you continue statistics. Let's talk about parameters and statistics. A parameter is a numerical measurement describing some characteristic of a population. A statistic is a numerical measurement describing some characteristic of a sample. An easy memory trick is that parameter and population both begin with P's, whereas statistic and sample both begin with the letter S. How can you tell the difference between a parameter and a statistic? The first thing I usually do is to determine what my population is. Then I ask myself, is the measurement I'm being given coming from the population or is it coming from a sample? Here are some extra clues you can look for. If a measurement is a parameter, you might see key phrases or words such as all or every. If the measurement is a statistic, you might see the words survey or sample. Let's do some practice. Let's start with an example. The average annual salary for 100 of a company's 1,453 employees is $75,000. Is $75,000 a statistic or a parameter? Before we answer this question, let's answer the question, what is the population? In this problem, the population is the 1,453 employees. However, notice that the average salary of $75,000 was calculated using only the salaries of 100 of the employees. 100 is a subset of 1,453 and is therefore a sample. Since $75,000 is a measurement of a sample, it is a statistic. Let's do another example. Remember, you can pause this video at any time, write down your own thoughts and answers, and then unpause it and see if you were correct. In a survey of a sample of homeowners, 14% said their development has a homeowners association. Is 14% a statistic or a parameter? Pause the video and write down your answer. We are told that a sample of homeowners were surveyed, so 14% is a statistic. Example 3. In 2020, medical marijuana was legal in 33 of the 50 states in the United States. Is 33 a statistic or a parameter? First, ask yourself, what is the population? The population is all 50 states. Therefore, 33 is a parameter since it is a portion of the population, not a portion of the sample. Here's another example. Of the 2,435 passengers aboard the Titanic, only 705 survived. Is the number 705 a statistic or a parameter? First, ask yourself, what is the population? The population is the 2,435 passengers on the Titanic. 705 is a portion of the population, so therefore it is a parameter. In a survey of a sample of people who use Dyson vacuum cleaners, 84% expressed satisfaction with their product. Is 84% a statistic or a parameter? We are told that a sample of the people who use Dyson vacuum cleaners were surveyed, so 84% is a statistic. In a recent year, 24% of Americans surveyed indicated they prefer Life cereal over Cheerios. Is 24% a statistic or a parameter? The survey could not have asked every single American their cereal preference. Therefore, we assume a sample of the population was surveyed. 24% is a statistic. The average math scores for everyone who took the ACT in a certain year was 17.2. Is 17.2 a statistic or a parameter? We are told this is a measurement of everyone who took the ACT. Therefore, 17.2 is a parameter. At this point, you should be able to define the following terms: population, sample, statistic, parameter, and inferential statistics. You should also be able to explain why samples are used and to identify a measurement as either a statistic or a parameter.